Like he told you, my name's Lloyd Dennis. Please make sure that you grab one of these handouts and look at it. It's important that you look at it. And you're going to understand why as I move on. Originally, I was going to start off with, first, I have an admission to make. I choose this moment to come out the closet. I confess that I have been a propagandist most of my life. I've made a lot of money helping people get inside other people's head. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to kind of like give up the trade secrets so that you can get them out your head, so that you can enjoy your life more and have a better health. You don't want to be Superman or Superwoman. Now, I didn't say stupid. I said stupor. And the definition of stupor is that you're walking around in a kind of haze, that you're not really conscious of everything going on around you, and that's the way we live. First thing I want to tell you is that you have no control over the impact of things that go through your eyes. And that's why that diagram is so important, because you notice that the eyes are at the front of the brain, but they don't make contact with any part of the front of the brain. And the front of the brain is a part of your brain that is you, that you think is you. But there's actually two yous. There's one you that you're aware of, and then there's the ancient you, which is probably shared by every mammal, which runs your body and guides your steps. And you don't really know it all the time. So if we look at the diagram, everything that goes through your eyes goes directly to your brainstem, to that ancient part of your brain that motivates you. It only has two things it does. It makes you want something, seek your desires, and avoid danger, avoid what you want to be avoided. Everything that goes through your eyes impacts who you are and how you feel about things. The entire evolution of mankind produced this setup that bets our well-being on the fact that until the invention of photography, maybe a century ago, if you saw something, it was the truth, and you could bet your life on it. Think about it. Prior to 100 years ago, if you saw something, it was the truth, it was real. Now we have filmmakers, and I was a photographer, I'm guilty. I was a filmmaker, I'm guilty. But people can get inside your head, and you don't know they're doing it, because you're just watching something. And the front part of your brain is fine, but they're working on the back part of your brain. In this light, I want you to think about something. The second commandment says, make thee no graven images. The Creator knows that we have a weak spot. The Creator knows that what goes through our eyes affects who we are, whether we want it to or not. And I'm going to prove it to you. How many of you have gone to a movie and cried? You know it's a screen. See, the front part, it knows it's a screen. It knows those people are actors. But it still made you cry. How many of you gone to a horror movie and got, ooh, scared? You know it's a lie, but it still got you. So what I'm saying to you is, your free will is not as free as you think it is. And we live in an unbridled capitalistic society where what you don't know about how your brain works is taken advantage of every day. Some of you are wearing shoes because you saw a picture of somebody cool wearing those shoes. And if you go down Maslow's hierarchy of needs, wanting to be part of a group is one of them. So people in marketing, I'm guilty. I'm sorry, I'm guilty. But people in marketing have taken this structure of our brain and see, they'll sell us anything they want. And in particular, I want to talk about food. I want to talk about food and nutrition because this is a health concept, right? I want you to think about, we are motivated to buy expensive everything else. We buy expensive clothes, we drive expensive cars, we want to live in an expensive house, but we look for cheap food. They got you. The only thing that it can impact your health and well-being that you can buy is food. And there's a reason for that. Most of the food that is advertised is processed food or fast food, which is made of processed food. It's got no nutrition. Green beans are an outstanding source of vitamin C. But if you eat green beans out of a can, they don't have any vitamin C. Vitamin C is the first chemical that gets processed out because it's very water soluble. You can take some vitamin C, a little scoop of vitamin C, and drop it in a bucket of water, and it dissolves before it hit the bottom. So the minute you throw some green beans in some water and start processing them, you just wash the nutrition away. So why would they do something like that? Something such nefarious. Get your money. Unbridled capitalism has no regard for your life and well-being. The people that are selling you stuff care nothing about you or how well you're going to do. They just want you to buy their stuff. And they have a way, see, they will associate their stuff with some of that Maslow stuff. We want to be happy, you know? So they're going to take the picture of Burger King stuff and everybody's having a good time. You want to have a good time? You want to be part of a happy group? Gotcha. Gotcha. That pickup truck. Just so happens there's a real sexy lady nearby in that ad, right? And so for the guys, that's a gotcha. Gotcha. So, but with food, it's so I'm going to tell you, I'm confessing. There was a time in the city of New Orleans where if you were an African-American politician running for office, I did your pictures because I was good. I was good at getting inside people's head. So one politician, I was doing a family portrait of him, and I asked the neighbor if we could borrow that cute little puppy. Because I knew there were people that would vote for a dog before they vote for a black man. So by putting that dog in the picture, whatever warm, fuzzy emotions that dog evoked got associated with my candidate. I did it, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry, because I didn't do it to hurt nobody. I'm just using those tools to try and do what Doc says I like to do in community. Another thing I did, and you would never know this. You wouldn't even notice it. That's when the tool is most powerful, is when you don't notice it. That's why I'm telling you, so you can start noticing it. Because if you're aware of it, you can say, I know what that is. But if you just casually watching television, don't have your radar up, bam, 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 bam. Before I finish with you, you want new shoes, you want new cars, you know you're not happy with something, you want new countertops. I don't understand this, y'all. People have perfectly good countertops, but they put it on pictures, on television, and they said, oh, it needs an update. Everybody wants to be cool. Everybody wants to be admired. Self-esteem. So they sell you a new countertop that you didn't need. Update. What does update mean? Throw away something that works perfectly well so you can buy something else from us. Am I lying? Now let me get to the food. The top or the bottom tier of Maslow is physiological need. Health. And if you want to take care of your health, you got to do it with food. Your body is a chemical plant. It's trying to produce proteins, trying to produce tissues, it's trying to produce bone, it's trying to produce nerves, it's trying to produce enzymes. It's trying to get your body optimum health. But you keep feeding it food that has no nutrition because they got you. You buying what's advertised. Now, so why is it that they advertise the processed food and they don't advertise good food? Processed food, the only reason the food is processed is so that they can turn it into a commodity and keep it on the shelf for years. You can keep a bag of white rice on the shelf for years. Now, it just so happens that all of the nutrition's been removed. The living part of that rice is gone. The germ, the live part that if you take a piece of brown rice and put it in the ground, it'll grow. It's alive. But you can't keep it on the shelf. We eat brown rice. I buy it 10 pounds, I freeze it. Because if you just leave it in that bag, you come back later, it's going to smell funny. So what's interesting, white rice, white sugar, white flour. Bacteria don't even eat it. That's why it doesn't spoil. Fungus don't even eat it. That's why it doesn't rot. Real food will rot and spoil unless you refrigerate it or freeze it. You can't make money like that. I got to be able to buy some commodity, put it on the shelf, have a distribution network for this stuff that'll fill you up. and make you fat. Now, this is not judgment. But if you are carrying more weight than you're supposed to, you have a health problem. Health problem. And you may be blaming yourself. It's not you. They've sold you this stuff. And you're eating it. And the thing about the white rice, white sugar, those things where the nutrition's been taken out is you eat it. Now look at, you see that red part of the brain? So you eat it, but the red part of your brain says, hold on. I need some vitamin C. I need some vitamin D. I need some phosphorus. I need some calcium, and I'm not getting it. So guess what your brain stem tells you to do? Eat some more. Because that's all it can do. It can't tell you. It tries sometimes. Sometimes it'll give you a craving for a certain flavor. It's trying. Like when you want sweets. What the brain stem is telling you is you need some vitamin C, some phytochemicals, you need all that nutrition that comes out of fruit. Because in nature, the only place you can find sweet is fruit. But if you get a craving for sweet, you're going to go buy that candy bar or them cinnamon rolls that they advertise. And then you're still not getting the nutrition, so guess what? You're going to eat some more. My life changed. I used to eat, y'all know Chip Ahoy chocolate chip cookies? You know that bag got 2 rolls in it? My wife will tell you, every night I used to eat a whole roll with a glass of milk. You raising your hand back there? You too? So I discovered red wine and vitamin C. Now, I take 4 grams of vitamin C a day. The feds say all you need is 250 milligrams. But that's based on keeping you from getting scurvy. It's not optimal. If you eat less than 250, you're going to get a disease called scurvy, which is a disease of small blood vessels. But the small blood vessels don't have the strength to hold themselves together, basically. I propose that vitamin C, you need not more. If you were a wild animal walking around, a wild human being, I don't want to say, we don't like to consider ourselves animals. That's our first mistake. Could you see this picture? This is a self-portrait of everybody in the room. It's based on your creature. If you don't believe you're a creature, you're crazy. So you heard what I said? Now your doctor can't tell you what I said, but I'm telling you. The American Medical Association will not allow a doctor to prescribe food. Your doctor can't tell you eat cherries to not have that urinary infection. Can't tell you. They'll kick him out. He's got to come up with a pharmaceutical for you because they're making plenty of money. See, that's the other thing that's really nefarious is the more you get sick, the more money people make. We don't have a health care system, we have a sick care system because if you were healthy, you wouldn't need them. I'm 73 years old. The only thing wrong with me is I have COPD, and that's because they got into my head when I was 12 years old, making me think that a cigarette will make me cool and accept it. Maslow. And I'm paying the price. That's all that's wrong with me. That's it. I'm 73 years old. I don't exercise. I take a lot of vitamin C, and since my good friend diagnosed me, I'm going to say the word, hemorrhoids. And I went to a doctor for 2 years. He's just giving me medicine, suppositories, creams, some painkiller maybe. And my friend come out of medical school, Dr. Ferdinand. And I told him my situation, I was about to go get surgery. Somebody would have got paid for that, true. And he said, man, cancel the surgery. I said, you out your mind, I just got the courage to do this thing. He says, I know you, and all you eat is meat and potatoes. He said, you got to push when you go, huh? And I'm like, doesn't everybody? He said, no, bro. You're just supposed to let it flow. He said, on your way home, stop at the store and get some Raisin Bran cereal. He said, you need fiber in your diet. And so I said, that's my boy. I did it. 2 weeks later, no more hemorrhoids. Couldn't even tell I had them. Aren't y'all glad I came talk to you today? So if people say you're obese, do me a favor. Start eating at least 2 grams of vitamin C every day. And if you're not gonna eat fruit, see, I get my fruit in a bottle of wine. Red wine. White wine is useless. Red wine, because it's got the nutrition from those peels. The only thing red wine doesn't retain from the fruit is vitamin C, because it comes out in the liquid. And the alcohol takes it out. So I take vitamin C. Now, I'm gonna tell you about my last doctor's visit. And I think I'm about to get out of here. So I go see my doctor, she's a nice lady. And whenever I change doctors, I gotta go through this same process. You know, they go out there, do you drink alcohol? I say, yeah. What do you drink? I say, I drink red wine. She said, how much you drink? I say, I drink a bottle a day. And she said, oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Dennis. we gonna have to see about that. That sounds too much. So then my labs come back. And before we were finished, my doctor said, what kind of red wine you drink? And how much vitamin C you take? She said, because on my way home, I'm getting mine because my labs are not anything like yours. They stepped on the food, y'all. You got to be so careful, like butter. Butter. You think butter is butter. It ain't. Cows are not supposed to eat corn. So if you eat butter that's made from milk of corn-fed cows, you get what? Omega-6s, fatty acid, which is bad for you. If you eat butter made from the milk of cows that eat grass like they're supposed to, you get omega-3, which is good for you. They stepped on the food, y'all. You got to be really, really careful. Because they don't care if you get sick eating this stuff. As a matter of fact, if you get sick eating their stuff, there's a whole other group of people gonna make plenty of money. And capitalism is very useful for you to be sick. Y'all check the stock prices on Eli, the drug manufacturer. I got some of that stuff because people ain't paying attention. They're gonna keep getting sick because they're not eating what their body needs. Your body needs fresh fruit and vegetables. But I got a shortcut for you. It's hard to find that kind of food. So I supplement. I take that vitamin C. I take turmeric. So if you notice, turmeric is in a lot of Indian and Asian dishes. And if you go back just a little bit in history, you don't see too many big Indians and Asians if they eat their own food. Now, once they come to America, they get fat just like us. Because they start eating what we eat. So, I'm just going to ask you, have y'all ever seen a commercial of a sexy couple sharing an apple? Maybe a crown apple, huh? You never see that. Because nobody can get rich off apples because apples spoil. Apples spoil. So, in our society, they talk a lot about freedom, and we talk about free will. What I'm telling you is if you are not careful about what you watch, I gotta tell you this story. I'm a photographer, right? My wife will tell you this. I used to get all the photography magazines. But then I realized I always wanted something else. I stopped reading the magazines. I stopped seeing those ads. I stopped wanting stuff. I stopped wanting new equipment because the equipment I had worked fine. But if you read those ads, brainstem say, you need that. You need that. You want that. Then they put a little old lady on the television. Oh, I don't want to leave my family with debt and stuff like that. So you can buy that useless burial insurance. Y'all know that's the most expensive insurance in the world? $9 a month, yeah, for $500 in insurance. So, I'm just gonna go down this line and I'm gonna be done. The next one up is safety, right? Maslow's stuff. They're selling some guns, huh? They sell some guns in America because they make you fear. Look at the diagram. Look at the diagram and see that when if it's afraid of something, you're going to do something about it. Let's look down to the next one is love and belonging to something. Everybody want to be sexy. And they'll tell you, if you wear this, you're sexy. They don't tell it, they show it to you. And then the next thing you know is, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. Fashion is a treadmill. I'm gonna repeat that. Fashion is a treadmill. You can't keep up. Because the minute that you catching up, they're gonna change the fashion. So now you got perfectly good stuff that you're not gonna use anymore because it's not gonna make you popular. You're not gonna be in, you're not gonna be considered sexy. I buy my clothes at Costco. Esteem, feeling good about yourself. We are in so much debt and living so far over our means because we want to look like we're successful. If I step on some toes, your feet in the wrong place. If you spend a year's salary on a vehicle, what you trying to do? You try to look good. Maybe have pulling power. That's what the fellas call it with the cars, right? It's got pulling power. It attracts women. And then there's something wrong with them if a fancy car attracts them. Your self-esteem should be based on what you do, not what you own. That's where that drive comes from. The drive comes from trying to motivate you to be somebody in your community, to be somebody in your family, to do something good for others. That's where your self-esteem is supposed to come from, not how much you paid for your shoes. We try to teach that to the children. They're playing with you. And the last is self-actualization. And I'm going to say, it's hard to get to self-actualization if you're letting them play with you about all this other stuff. Actually, self-actualization is the point where you say, I don't need all that stuff because I'm me. All I need is me. Not what I wear, not my hair, not my nails. I stepped on the foot. All right. It's what you do. Dr. Turner didn't care what I wore today. I wore this because I'm going to my friend's funeral, who I love, Bill Roussel. He wouldn't care what I wore. And now you wouldn't care either. Because it's not what I wear, it's what I do. And I want to challenge you to put your self-esteem right there. Because that's what's supposed to be. We are herd animals. Human beings are herd animals. We are, if you take an individual human being and put him on the savannah of Africa, he's dead meat. The only reason that human beings are the top predator on the planet is because when the other predators come at us, they got to come at a bunch of us. And because we have love, in order for you to get to the weak, if you chase the wildebeest, all the healthy wildebeest leave. And the lion gets to eat the weak and the sick. Lion come at some human beings, the babies and the old people in the back. You got to deal with the strong, and there's going to be a bunch of us, and we bring in sticks and rocks. We are not the natural prey of any predator on the planet. And what I'm suggesting to you is we need each other. And if you're not happy in life, you're not giving enough of yourself. So you're not going to experience that self-esteem. I got my swag. But it comes from helping other people. I'm done.